Beneath the surface of the Gulf of Mexico lies a hypoxic region that has earned the dubious title of the Dead Zone. Due to its lack of oxygen, the area is incapable of supporting aquatic life. According to a recent study from the Louisiana University's Marine Consortium and the University of Michigan, this summer's dead zone covers 5,840 square miles of Gulf floor, just above the 5-year average. In Iowa, where net farm income topped $10 billion in 2011, water treatment plants have been working overtime to remove what researchers believe is the root cause of the problem: nitrogen and phosphorus from farmland runoff. Bill Stowe is the CEO and general manager of the Des Moines Water Works, a municipal operation supplying drinking water to 500,000 central Iowans.
Certainly there are urban contributors to runoff into pollution. I don't mean to disparage that, but the idea that feeding the world is somehow this password that lets us get by any responsibility for poisoning our neighbors is a real problem for me.
Stowe believes the biggest misconception is that Iowa's fertile fields that produce such agricultural abundance must also yield polluted water. He notes that nearby states like Minnesota and Wisconsin have achieved a balance between regulation and farming.
If we were to avoid that and as a state fail to recognize that and move in our policy forward, we're missing the largest opportunity for regulation and for improvement. A lot of regulation on the point source polluters in the urban areas, the sewage treatment facilities, the factories that discharge into the rivers, but essentially a free pass on the non-point agricultural sources, which are the single largest contributor to water quality problems in Iowa.
Craig Hill is president of the Iowa Farm Bureau, Iowa's largest general farm organization with 153,000 members. Hill disagrees with Stowe's premise that farmers and state officials are failing to protect Iowa's water.
I think we are correct to assess that agriculture has much to do. 98% of all the raindrops that land on this state land on a farm somewhere, and these are family-owned farms. So it's incumbent upon us to do our best job, and we're working at it. We have been working on it. We can do better. You know, I think our goals are aligned. We can work together. We all want the end result to be the same.
Stowe believes regulations need to be put in place to protect Iowa's water. While there are state and federal regulations controlling many aspects of production agriculture, the responsibility for monitoring runoff from farm fields is left largely to the farmer. Stowe dislikes the idea of self-regulatory policies because they lack the legal teeth that public policy provides. Hill points out there are incentives in place to get farmers to adopt practices that reduce soil runoff, and he's concerned about the potential downside of a one-size-fits-all policy. Iowa is among the 41 states that make up the Mississippi River Basin. When rains or high water rush across rural farm fields and urban lawns, some of the nitrogen and phosphorus in the soil runs into local rivers and streams. That chemical brew feeds algae blooms downstream. The algae and the protozoa that eat them die and fall to the bottom, where their decomposition depletes oxygen and creates the dead zone. Farther upstream, Stowe and Hill believe there is common ground where both sides can work together to solve the problem.
Well, there's a balance. It is a public and it's a private stakeholder relationship, a collaboration that's going to have to be built. We're all in this together. It's a voluntary program, certainly, but success is not optional.
Stowe adamantly believes agricultural runoff should be regulated by government authorities to protect water quality and, ultimately, reduce the size of the dead zone. And he's threatened to sue the EPA, if necessary, to get it to enforce water quality standards if state officials fail to do so. For Market to Market, I'm David Miller.